ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Impact Post Show. I'm Tom Hannifan. He's the Drama King, Matthew Rehwoldt. You can hear Cross the Line playing here in Cicero Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. TNA is back in 2024, and tonight was an example of why this company has so much buzz, so much momentum. The main event between Will Ospreay and Josh Alexander was sensational. You nearly ripped your papers in half.
I nearly passed out from an aneurysm. I'm just trying to catch my breath from that contest. Oh my God. I mean, we're going to talk about all of that and more, but we had a hell of a night of action altogether.
You catch your breath. I mentioned TNA is back in 2024, specifically Saturday, January 13th. In Las Vegas, live at the Palms on pay-per-view. Hard to Kill marks the return of TNA. Now, that same night, Moose has already declared via his Feast or Fired Impact World title shot opportunity. He wants that Impact World title match at Hard to Kill. Earlier on tonight, Moose was able to get a win against Heath, got into the business of Heath and Rhino. Myers was meddling throughout that matchup, but still, now you have Moose targeting the Impact World Champion, Alex Shelley, if he's still the champion by the time we get to Hard to Kill. That matchup alone could be fascinating, but all the elements at play, Ospreay and Alexander, so much excitement. I don't know how to put it all in words.
I mean, again, we're just building towards the end of this year, but like all eyes, like you're saying, are on 2024, the rebirth of TNA. Anything and everything can and will happen. I mean, Moose in particular, that's a very different challenger for Alex Shelley, should that be the match come the time. So I got my eyes on it.
Alex Shelley looked outstanding last week, defeating 100%. Jonathan Gresham in our main event, retaining his championship. Now, speaking of Hard to Kill, another person was their eye on that evening at the Palms in Las Vegas is the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner for 2023, Jordan Grace, who's already said she wants a knockout world title shot at Hard to Kill in Las Vegas. Right now, Trinity is the reigning Knockouts World Champion. It's an interesting evening. Let's focus on Jordan Grace, her situation with Bully Ray. How would you describe it?
I mean, these two, we've talked about it on air. Like, they've gone back and forth several times over the years, been across the ring from each other in various mixed tag scenarios. They always find their way to each other. Like two planets gravitationally pulled. It always ends up going nose to nose, Grace and Bully Ray, at different times over the last couple of years. But it finally came down to a true like one-on-one contest at Bound for Glory in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. They were the final two, and it was Grace who got that win. But there was this kind of, I don't know if it's begrudging respect. Again, we kind of seen Bully Ray turn a new leaf.
It's tense.
A little.
It's definitely tense.
Again, it's hard to believe Bully Ray turns a new anything around here, but before we could see any of that go down earlier in the night, it was interrupted by, of course, Kylan King, Steve Macklin, and we saw it all play out in that tag match.
And not forget, the Knockouts World Champion Trinity looked excellent tonight. A battle of two fabulous athletes. Sonny Kiss, first time ever matchup with Trinity. Trinity got the win. Trinity's got to have that in the back of her mind. The juggernaut Jordan Grace continues to build momentum. There's a reason she's called the history maker. And if she were to march into Hard to Kill, the night that TNA returns and knocks off whomever is the Knockouts World Champion, what a story that would be. When we come back here on the Impact Post Show, we're going to dive into the tag team title match that kicked off this episode of Impact. Frankly, one of the best episodes of Impact I've ever had the good fortune of being a part of. The huge Lucha Rules Trios match. We had Conan on commentary for it, and also we are going to dive into our main event, Ospreay and Alexander. Don't go anywhere.
We are Hard to Kill, and we are on sale now. Get your tickets at ImpactWrestling.com for the return of TNA Wrestling. It all goes down January 13th at the Palms Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Get those tickets right now.
It's hard to believe that we kicked off this evening with a championship match. The ABC defending the Impact World Tag Team titles against Kenny King and Sheldon Jean. An unconventional decision by Santino Marella. Stop me if you've heard that before.
There's a lot of things about Santino Marella I take a couple issues with. I mean, I was happy to see Kenny King get a title shot.
Yes, Kenny King technically is due to digital media title rematch after Victory Road. He's been frustrated. Obviously, Crazy Steve and Tommy Dreamer had their digital media title match last week, ended in a disqualification. So that's been tied up. So Santino Marella said, hey, That's going down. How about a tag title shot? It's unconventional. It occurred. The ABC looked very, very good in this matchup. Sheldon Jean and Kenny King gave them some problems, but Ace and Bay are right back where they were earlier on in 2023 in their first tag team title reign.
Yeah, we talked about they had an incredible 2023. They were just knocking off all players. Their incredible run with the Motor City Machine Guns, kind of stepping up to the plate and becoming that new generation of tag team. But Tom, I think the question I want to ask, and I think the world, quite frankly, if I can speak for the world, which I believe I can, what about the Rascals? What about the Rascals?
You know,
they're due a contractual rematch. They should have been the first in line. You know, what about the Rascals?
Listen, the Rascals obviously have ticked off Impact Management a number of times, so
that's hard.
I'm just speculating that might be part of it. But I agree with you. They are due a rematch. That's true.
Right.
And I thought it was interesting. Myron Reed, an original Rascal, for those that don't know, making his Impact debut here this evening. What do you think about Myron Reed?
I was so happy to see Myron Reed coming here to Impact. Again, I know their history with the Rascals. I've been able to see the Rascals tear it up a little bit outside of Impact. So to hear and see him here in an Impact ring, he delivered. He delivered on all fronts in that incredible Lucha Rules matchup that we had, which everybody shined in that one.
So
Fireworks nonstop in that one.
It was wonderful to have Conan here on commentary with us, the legend for LAX right here in Impact Wrestling and TNA. A little walk down memory lane. Of course, Impact is going to be a part of an event with AAA on November 26th in Mexico. You can get more information on that at ImpactWrestling.com. Some of the action that goes down that night will be seen right here on Impact on Access TV in the future. The victory ultimately going to the team of Juventud Guerrera, Laredo Kid, and Black Taurus. Hoovy was great at Bound for Glory. Was great here tonight. All parties included were absolutely sensational. However, our main event was the icing on the cake. I was dying to see this matchup. I had never got to call a Will Ospreay match in person until the match we saw at Bound for Glory. Speedball Mike Bailey one-on-one with Will Ospreay. That was electric. Then you see Will Ospreay go to Turning Point, which is available on Impact Plus. You can relive it anytime you want. Battled Eddie Edwards, another great of Impact Wrestling. And tonight, he gets the standard Josh Alexander. What were your thoughts on this match?
You know that brain explode emoji that you have on your phones or whatever? It's like, or that meme from Tim and Eric, just that's what it was. As a wrestling fan, if that's not what your reaction was, I think you're out of your mind. These guys lit off every firework in the building. They busted out everything they could. At several times, Josh Alexander had Will Ospreay seemingly crippled with that ankle lock, but the aerial assassin fought through viciously. We saw him turn it up to another level to take down the walking weapon.
It was absolutely spectacular.
Out of this world.
Josh Alexander proving what Impact Wrestling is capable of, proving why there's so much excitement and buzz around this company with the return of TNA coming in 2024. We know the Billy Goat's coming up on contract time.
Don't
throw that
don't
out
tease
in the
me with
world.
a good time, baby.
Listen, I think perhaps he was certainly inspired. Once upon a time, first match
That's
that
right.
he said
He's
he
been
ever
very
saw as a
public about it.
teenager was the Unbreakable Three-Way back in 2005. Daniel, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles. It inspired him. It's inspired some of his offense that we've seen. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm going to let you all talk about it. Thank you all so much for joining us here this evening on Impact on Access TV. And for those of you here stateside next week, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We appreciate you guys tuning in.